Hey guys, welcome back to World of Warships and our first update for 2026. This is everything you need to know about update 15.0. Of course, early access to European battleships is the highlight here. Getting yourself 2 months of early access is never worth it in my opinion. Just wait 2 months and then you can grind these out completely for free. We also are getting a new special commander here for the Commonwealth ships. This one might be a little tricky to grind out, but fortunately, in update 15.8, the containers will be permanently available. I missed that on my initial video yesterday, and really good to see that those containers are coming back rather quickly, so don't feel too bad if you don't quite finish this collection. We also have a fighters update here, which I'm really excited for. No longer are they going to be providing plane spotting for you. We have a new Salvage with Surcouf here, as well as things like Zarya S, Narai, Colonna coming back too, which I'm very excited about. We have updates to unique upgrade modules, legendary mods. Some of these are very powerful. Hopefully Wargaming's nerfing Colombo. They didn't, unfortunately. I was hoping for it though. But that is the highlights. Let's get into a little more detail here now. With these European battleships, that's an entire line all the way from tier 4 all the way up to tier 10, which I really like to see. If you go over into the armory tab here, you can see the event outline for you right here. As always, it's just super expensive, right, to get any of these ships at higher tier. Fortunately, some of them will be available. You can get the tier 4 for free in daily random bundles. First progression line, that's the free line of the event pass. You can get the tier 5 doubloon bundle, so for the tier 6, probably not worth it. And in the second progression line, so that's the paid track of the event pass, you can get the tier 7. Tier 8, tier 9, and tier 10 are only available in these sequential bundles, which I'm not sure exactly how many of these tokens we're going to get. You probably are going to get towards the tier 8. I doubt they give you up to the tier 9. We'll see. It'd be nice if they did. But typically the tier 9 and certainly the tier 10 are way out of reach with these events. And if you haven't seen the initial coverage of these videos, go check out those videos already on the channel. But the highlights are very good armor, 10-kilometer radar, amazing concealment, very strong torpedoes at the cost of the small HP pool, which when you have really good armor, doesn't matter quite as much alongside good concealment. That suddenly is less of an issue. And 1.8 Sigma battleship dispersion is the other downside. So maybe not the most accurate ships. The 406s here on the tier 10 are very high alpha damage for 406s, higher alpha damage than Montana 406s even, as well as having some of the fastest shell velocity in the game. The reload, the base reload here is very good too. So even if it may not be the most accurate per salvo, you're shooting a lot very often, and it's very easy to lead these guns too. Here's that radar, 10 kilometers, 25 seconds, which can be buffed, of course, and an engine boost of 25%. So if you get in trouble, you can use this to be incredibly maneuverable and very difficult to hit as a result. That armor profile is quite good. 70 upper belt, 40 deck armor, rather small superstructure, especially bow in, combined with good concealment. These are very strong battleships. And strong battleships down through the tiers. I really like the tier 9 as well as the tier 8. So far, those are the only ones that I've been playing, but they're all very strong so far. Not a line that you need to free XP at all. It is a great line to grind through. As already mentioned with the event pass, this is how you can get some of these ships. Notably, you can't get into the tier 7 without going into the paid track of the battle pass, and that one is right at the end here. There's a premium LE here, so if you are interested in that one, that's also in the paid track. Wargaming, a little bit of feedback real quick. If it's in the free track, keep it in this gray or white color, but anytime there's something you gotta pay for in your game, all of your UI shows that it's in gold. Look at the premium icons for LE here. The ship icon is in gold. It's a premium ship, right? Anything you pay for seems to be in gold. So maybe we could highlight that a little better here. And on to the new collection, Honor, Integrity, and Virtue here with John Collins. I looked at this commander already. Very powerful. Double the healing that Kuznetsov gives you in half, or a third of the time, actually. Very, very powerful ability, alongside buffs to your consumable duration and ship speed every 60,000 damage you deal. This is going to consist of leaderboards, and leaderboards are a little weird. You're going to get 4 of them. You'll see they start at different times throughout this update. This is going to get you lunar tokens, which are going to be important next update. So well worth playing into these, the lunar tokens, by the way. There's some sort of copy-paste premium versions of already existing ships, like Schlieffen, Navarin as an example, Petro. Also, the ability to get yourself a Laria for this event. Rather than spending all your steel, you could just get the copied version for this event and these lunar tokens. It'll be very interesting. We'll take a look at that, of course, next update, but could be worth actually grinding through some of these leaderboard events, not just for the extra bonuses here you're going to get for your John Collins collection. And the way this works is you're going to be grouped with players of a similar play rate, I guess. It's not about skill level necessarily, it's about your participation in battle, and there'll be either 25 or 50 players in your group, and depending on how you play versus or compared to those other 25 to 50 players, that is going to be how you will be rewarded. So here is the rewards based on your positioning. You can see how there's rewards at every position, so even if you score dead last, you're still getting at least 1 container and some tokens, but there is some good value to placing higher. I'm not sure how difficult this is actually going to be to complete this collection or not. I will say the lunar tokens, the way it works is you can get, I think, 40 or close to 50k tokens total in that Lunar New Year event next update. And they said the tier 10s in that update, so if you wanted Laria as that example for lunar tokens, I think they said it's around 15,000. So it's not required that you grind like mad for this one if you just want the Laria. Once you get your first container, you will see this collection right here. And you'll notice that it's duplicates of 2. All right, it's very important that you don't use your duplicates until you know you can complete this entire board. Otherwise, you may select one with your duplicates to unlock, and then you get that one in the next container. And you've suboptimally, I suppose, tried to finish your collection. Always wait until you can fully complete it out before starting to use your duplicates here. And then that's how you get Collins. Really like that this guy will be available with update 15.8, or at least the free containers will be available with update 15.8. You, of course, also have the option to pay for premium containers to finish it out right away. It's always very expensive to do this. May as well just wait, in my opinion. And there are some free ones available to you, or at least if you have in-game resources. 10 available for research points and 10 available for Elite Commander XP to get you started. As well as at the bottom of this European Battleships tab of the Armory, you have your 2 bonuses here. This one's for doubloons. This one here is actually free. And there is another 2 of these containers here. So there's a few options to get some of these collection containers for free. Probably not enough to complete it though without doing that leaderboard event. Another cool feature of update 15.0 is Distinguished Service Awards. Now, is this like World of Tanks Marks of Excellence? I don't play that game, so I'm not sure exactly. But the way this one is working is if you're in the top 5% of players on base XP on average, so it's over many games. I'm not sure if it's 100 games or something like that they're looking at. It will actually give you this golden clasp. So maybe that's like a 3 mark on a tank, something like that. If you're in the top 15%, that's going to give you the silver. And of course, the last one is if you're in the top 35%, you're going to get the bronze clasp. And these are importantly distinguished between if you're in a division or solo play. I think that is a really cool thing to have here. So if you're a solo player, it's going to be harder, I think. But it also make it a little easier for solo play too, in that you're not competing against those triple divs of ships that are going to kind of steamroll through some games, certainly. I think that's a really cool distinction to have in this. Worth noting that the lowest 10% of your battles are actually excluded from statistics. So if you have a bad game or two, that's not the end of the world. And I believe once you've achieved one of these, you can't lose it on the ship. Unfortunately, it looks like these won't actually be shown on your ship. I believe the mark system in World of Tanks is shown on the barrel of your tank gun, something like that. So it looks like that's not coming here, but it will be shown in the post-battle results screen as well as on your profile. On to our fighters update, and a good change coming here where fighters will no longer be able to spot you. This is a huge update, allowing you to move around the battle without that randomly spawned fighter from the enemy carrier consistently spotting you early game. This is really good. It means that the carrier has to be actively trying to spot you with his squadron, not just dropping a fighter and then running over to the other side of the map to do the same thing. Personally, I really wish Wargaming would just go with minimap only plane spotting. They've already done this in the console game World of Warships Legends. I'm finishing up my grind to Rhode Island over there. That was their Christmas campaign ship, which is like their dockyards. And it's been so nice, guys, being only minimap plane spotted. You can get into positions so much easier. Yeah, the planes come spot you, but the surface ships aren't all instantly cross-mapping you because they can see you. They know where you're going, just not that you can get locked onto and shot at. It's so nice. Wargaming, please bring it over to PC. And while you're at it, please add more statistics for us to see. The console game shows us Sigma parameters. It shows us how our commander skills and upgrades to our ship are actually affecting dispersion parameters, how it's affecting our maneuverability, our concealment. It's so much more information given to the console, and it's even on mobile. Mobile phone players get more information than the PC game. Ridiculous. Please, Wargaming. A tactic often used, though, going back to the fighter update, is that when there's a fighter squadron dropped, that you would use your plane-based ASWs to click near that fighter squadron, and they would engage with your airstrike there, your ASW airstrike, and then they would disappear. That was a tactic you could use to remove that fighter from the area. And no longer. So it'll attack several airstrikes in succession, but no more than 5. So you'll have to coordinate it really a lot, actually, because you get 2 mostly on surface ships. You'll have to coordinate with 3 other people. Fighters are also going to engage only airstrikes much faster than before. Almost immediately once they enter the patrol area. So fighters don't engage with the carrier strike planes very quickly, oftentimes allowing the carrier to get the first drop off and then only engaging after that drop has happened. Fighters aren't that useful. That's why you're always supposed to use a spotter plane on all your surface ships. They really don't do a whole lot. I was hoping that maybe this would make them a little more useful against carriers, but no, sadly not. And since Napoli was designed around the fighter plane spotting for you while you're in a smoke in that brawling scenario, it looks like they're changing it over to having a spotter aircraft in the same slot with fighters. So you can choose. More than likely, you're going to go with that spotter because, again, fighters really aren't useful as surface ships against carriers at all. So you're wanting that extra spotting. It makes sense from a, hey, we balanced Napoli around having this. I think Napoli's pretty good, though, and could use a nerf perhaps in that regard. But that's not what they've gone with. They're also updating the campaigns tab, which is kind of wild considering how dead they've left that tab, allowing everyone access to the 3rd slot for campaign tasks without having a premium account. So that's really cool to have here too. Not that there's any new campaigns to grind through, mind you. If you're a new player, it's a great way to get early resources. It's actually amazing. If we go over here into the campaigns, this Science of Victory one, if you're a new player, you really should just be going through this. Amazing, simple rewards to get through. Just gives you little bonuses to free XP, to credits. It'll give you some flags as well as XP bonuses too. And once you get to the end of this one, you actually get some premium time. There's really, really good bonuses all the way through this one. They're not hard to complete, and it's just going to give you a small little boost. After that, you can always go for the Honorable Service one, and that's going to get you a Shinonome, a free premium ship at tier 6, by doing missions. One at a time in different stages. Doesn't this sound like a dockyard? Wow, wait, great transition into wargaming. Add dockyards here, please. Please add dockyards here. You can even make them that you have to unlock it via doubloons. Please, get us back some of these dockyards. I've looked ahead at that update 15.1 dev blog, and I noticed that a couple more of the dockyard ships are coming back. Only in loot boxes, shades of ZF6 last year, as well as D7 Provincian, which were $1,000 to guarantee and $500 to guarantee respectively. Ridiculous. Please, bring them back in the campaigns tab. If you're looking at the campaigns tab with this update, which it seems like you are, please bring them back. A new salvage event here with Surcouf. I would assume it's going to be very expensive for in-game resources. This is a submarine with like 203mm main guns. I thought it was kind of ridiculous that ships like Hull destroyer with 203mm main guns, but no, we have subs now with that. And I think it even gets planes too. Okay, I'm not going to go into a submarine or carrier rant. We all know what I think about that kind of thing. So let's talk about the other ships available here. Colonna, Narai, Zarya S. Specifically Zarya S and Colonna we have seen before. So if you're interested in these two ships in particular, you can look for B.A. Bina video on my channel for Colonna. And for Zarya S, it's B.A. Hovercraft, I believe. And Zarya S was just okay, if I'm remembering right. Colonna was really fun. This being a up-tiered Carcholo into tier 8 with surprisingly accurate main guns and sap secondaries with good accuracy. So this is like what Sicilia wishes it was at tier 10, but actually good. This ship is very, very strong at tier 8. Really fun. Happy to see it come back for salvage. I hope, considering it's the lowest tier available in that salvage, or tied for the lowest tier, that it's going to be the easiest one to get. I think that would be really fun. This is a great ship, and highly, highly recommend you do enough of this salvage event to get this one. You get the nice smokes here, allowing you to go dark in those hectic brawl situations. Get into a bad position, need to get between two islands into cover. Smoke has your back. It's really, really valuable. This event will begin in the last week of the update, so you gotta wait a little bit for that, and it'll allow you to exchange resources, coal, as well as rare and epic expendable economic bonuses. Interesting. So if you got a massive pile up, which I don't think many people do, of economic bonuses, then you're going to be able to exchange those. So the rare ones and the epic ones, which blue and red boosters don't get given out very often, Wargaming. It's kind of odd that you didn't include maybe the uncommon ones as well, or the commons. That's strange, but at least it's coal. Not sure how much coal, of course, but at least it is coal. Some more collabs are coming back, I guess. The Roussillon Dockyard is continuing. If you're getting towards the end of this one and realizing that the base XP requirements at the end here are a little too much for you, if you're unable to get the Kraken achievement at the very end of this Dockyard, which would allow you to only have to do one of these 42k base XP missions to get this final reward, that would mean you're missing out on one shipbuilding phase, assuming you got these two, which I don't think would be too hard. So you're missing out on one. That's an extra 3k doubloons. 9k doubloons total for Roussillon. If you didn't have enough time to actually finish those base XP requirements, I think is probably worth it still. Roussillon is a very good tier 9 battleship. It's not Wisconsin level, but I mean, comparing it to old school battleships like Iowa or Izumo, this thing is way better than that. It's a very solid ship. If you're interested in that fast flanking French battleship role with a reload booster, I think it's pretty good. For 9,000 doubloons, certainly for 6,000 doubloons if you did finish all of those missions. And those missions, by the way, are available until January 28th, at least on the North American server. So you have a little bit of time to finish those. Big updates to the unique upgrades, legendary modules to Kremlin, Colombo, Hindenburg Republic, Guden, Petro, Daring, Harugamo, Grozavoy, Z52, Elbing, and Yuyang. I will be looking at some of these, certainly. I was really excited for a nerf to the Colombo special upgrade. I'm not going to talk about every one of these. We'll go over that in more detail later in specific videos. But just talk about Colombo real quick. The broken part about Colombo's legendary upgrade is it gives you better dispersion. And with SAP, that is pretty broken. How did they nerf it? Did they nerf the dispersion element of that legendary upgrade? The actual broken part about it? No, they made it so you only get one smoke charge instead of 3 smoke charges. That's not going to do a whole lot, Wargaming. Come on. Come on, the SAP is so busted. Please. At least you could have made a nerf to the SAP alpha damage, right? Give us the accuracy from the upgrade still, but maybe nerf the alpha damage of the SAP by 25% or something like that. It's not like there isn't precedent for doing that. Something like Victoria, if you want to burst fire, it just nerfs your alpha damage by 25%. They've done this before, and Victoria isn't that busted. In fact, it's fun to play, but that 25% nerf to alpha damage hits pretty hard. You get a nice bonus of being able to burst with a battleship, but it nerfs your alpha damage. Makes sense. Colombo nerf like that, I think would also make sense. Maybe don't nerf the AP and incentivize a little more AP usage, huh? Unlikely to happen though. They've already touched the Colombo legendary upgrade now, so I wouldn't expect any nerfs to come anytime soon, unfortunately. More ranked battles, more clan battles, more brawls, asymmetric battles, extending them. So for all of you PvE enjoyers, there you go. Love to see that. And that so many mission chains these days are available in so many of these alternate game modes. I think that is really good for wargaming. Even if I don't personally benefit from it because I don't really play PvE modes, I think it's great for the overall community here. Ship rotations happening too. Maybe that means some new ships coming back that were previously only in FOMO events. Would love to see that. And a few other issues that they have bug fixed, I guess. And that's about it for update 15.0. Hope that makes things a little clearer for this new update. European battleships, wait a couple months. That would be my advice. Try to engage with the free parts of the event. Perhaps you can get yourself the tier 8 for free if you get enough of the European tokens. Try to grind a little bit for the new commander, but don't worry, he's coming back. At least the crates are coming back in update 15.8. And if you didn't know where those are in the armory, you just go to containers here, and then you can view all of the normal containers here. Here's one of the premium commanders. Here's another one. Here's another one. So usually they show up back here. We have not seen Conrad come back, notably, but at least we have a date on when the Collins Commander crates will come back, and that is update 15.8. You see, Wargaming, even that little bit of information makes it so much easier for me to just be positive. When I don't have to speculate, when you guys communicate with me well, communicate with the entire community well, it leaves less room for speculation and room for us to assume the worst, right? Maybe it's not fair that we assume the worst, but given some past track records, like seeing the way you've re-released ships like ZF6 and Zemun Provincian last year, makes me a little bit worried when you show that Dockyard ships like Schroeder and Atlantico are coming back only in premium containers. How much is that gonna cost, I wonder? Surely it wouldn't be $1,000 to guarantee one of those ships again, right? Anyways, that outrage can be saved for update 15.1 when they actually do release that event. I really hope that it's not going to be another $1,000 to guarantee a Dockyard ship. That is absolutely ridiculous and unacceptable. But that's not this update. 15.0 looks pretty good. Very excited to check out this new mark system or distinguished awards system, seeing how that interacts with wanting to play ships for a little bit more time, that kind of thing. I think it could be fun, as well as, of course, European battleships and that Surcouf Salvage event. Very hopeful that Colonna, Zarya S, Narai aren't too far along and everybody can get to enjoy those ones. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.